So today's topic will be regarding how we can assist you to obtain the UK residency citizenship through our programs, so the programs that call Startup and Innovator visas. We have Ahmed from Egypt, good to hear. And we will also cover in detail the Startup and Innovator visas, about the Startup Innovator visas. And hi, Farhana. And we will give you the benefits, requirements, or how we can achieve, how we can obtain these visas, but also we'll talk about the tips and traps, what to avoid, and what traps people or what mistakes people do when they consider these options, and how to avoid them. Isn't it, Harvey?
Yes, because there are obvious things that are not written down on the internet by the government and by endorsing bodies, which only practical experience shows are really important.
Yes. So it will be about the Innovator and Startup visa. I asked this question, what country are you from? So good to hear. If anyone hasn't replied, then please let us know. And just about myself, I'm senior business consultant at Canfield's Law. I also help. I'm business development manager at Seed Mentors, which we can give a brief explanation. Seed Mentors is involved in helping startup companies with raising funds, and Harvey is the founder of Seed Mentors. So we've been helping startup companies with fundraising, and I have a project finance background, working for investment banking. And let me introduce Harvey. Harvey is the founder of Seed Mentors, the company that specializes in, as I said, helping the funds with funding. And he's also a business mentor to a number of UK companies. He also he's an advisory board, I would say, advisory board for a number of companies as well. And he has a strong knowledge in strong expertise and experience in a startup and venture capital field. He's a lawyer with more than 30 years experience. So hi, Harvey. Maybe you'd like to...
Yes, thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, so regarding the Seed Mentors, just let me brief about the Seed Mentors and activities established 2012. One of the first seed enterprise investment company to specialize in supporting early stage startup companies. And also Seed Mentors, we helped helping foreign applicants to find existing companies, existing UK companies where by our business matching. And you may heard about Tier 1 entrepreneur visas in the past that's been closed, the 200,000 option. And we've been very successful in obtaining these Tier 1 entrepreneur visas in the past by business matching. And Seed Mentors has invested more than 80 companies for the last 6 years, and we do pitching clinics. For example, this is a case study of the company that raised investment, but also we successfully got Tier 1 entrepreneur visas to our clients from China, Azerbaijan, as I said, we've been very successful in these visas. We do also meet clients in places. We travel to different countries. This is me speaking in Dubai seminar about the visa options we have and how we can assist. About our law firm, we're based in London, a Swiss cottage, and Canfield's Law has Lexcel accreditation, and Lexcel is given to top managed law firms in the UK, and it's also a member of the Law Society. Harvey, perhaps if I missed anything about Canfield's Law, if you would like to add anything else.
No, I think most you've covered our long experience. The point to make is that we are not limited to immigration. We are corporate lawyers, and you need to have people with a good knowledge of corporate law to deal with the sort of visas that we're talking about today, because business immigration requires knowledge of business. It does not require total knowledge of immigration. That is not enough to deal with the cases that you get. The corporate knowledge and the ability to deal with the corporate documents and advise on a corporate level is really important.
Yes, Harvey, thanks for clarifying. So the corporate, I agree. Corporate. We specialize in corporate law as well, and that's why we help. We understand what is needed for companies when it comes to this directorship, shareholding, and we can assist if you are investing in existing company, of course, or creating a company. That's our strengths. Benefits in investing in the UK. Everyone knows. Perhaps you done your own research. Why you would like to come to the UK? Why you would like to come to the UK? Perhaps maybe that will be a question to our audience. What do you think? What is actually motivated you to actually apply for the UK? Why you would like to apply to the UK? Perhaps you just write your answers here in the chat box. Maybe it's education, maybe it's business reasons, maybe it's it could be different motivation for many people. So please reply in one word. Why do you want to come? What is what motivates you to come to the UK? Because in my, if you would like to hear our opinion, there could be a number of reasons why UK. Free market economy, flexible time zone, high quality of living, one of the most suitable environments, it's a politically stable, and one of the most stable political environments is in the UK. Global education, best universities in the UK, flexible labor markets. You have different, if you are setting up a business, you have great labor. English language could be another reason. Like some people prefer to apply for Portugal, but they have a challenges to learn the Portuguese language or speak in the same language, for example. Beneficial tax regime could be another reason, but for some people it's the safety. But let us know. Land of opportunities. Okay, yeah, I totally agree with Umer. Settle with my family, set up my business. Friday, yes, that's the good time zone. Yes, English, quality of life, Manivis. Yeah, it's a good point. So I totally agree. So thanks very much for needing to India, similar laws to India, considering high currency rate, beautiful countryside, just like fairy tales, and many of my relatives are in London. That's good. That's a good answer, because I think that's another point. Some people may have relatives, friends in the UK. You've visited in the UK. You've been in the UK. I think when we ask people, they do say, I have relatives. That's I want to settle there and to leave. So just to give you just an update about the COVID situation, the government is easing the lockdown. We see that many shops are opening up, offices and the businesses. But of course, we're not there yet. It's not completely. Social distancing is still there. The staying alert, staying safe messages from the government are still there. So we're not completely free of the COVID situation. But I'd like to just mention here about the benefits still. For if you apply now, it's I think you are better positioned because still queues are less, because you kind of, once completely locked down, will settle. I'll get Harvey's opinion here as well. But then you can have a flood of more applications, and you can be stuck in the queue. But currently is a great time to apply, because we had that transition, easing stage. What do you think, Harvey? Or what do you think about this, briefly, about the COVID situation, and why is a good time to apply now?
Well, if you're thinking about the Innovator or startup visa, then, as we've explained on other occasions, you need to get an endorsement. The endorsement is given by an endorsing body, and we work with 3. But the point is there are only a limited number of endorsement places because the government have operated a quota system. We know that the number of applications are greater than the number of spaces available. And as the COVID lockdown becomes less difficult, so more and more people are going to apply. And it would be a great mistake to wait and end up so far back in the line of people that there will be no visas available for you, because the endorsing bodies will have run out.
Yes, I totally agree. And I think it's for some people, it's having plan B is kind of, I mean, not some people, I think having a plan B is a good option. So having a second passport allowing you to relocate if required. And like Harvey said, it's a great time to apply. We specialize, of course, we specialize in UK investor, sole representative, all business-related visas in the UK, business immigration, I would say. And also we do have other programs where we can assist, whether it's Isle of Man, Republic of Ireland, but that's not a topic today, because today is all about the UK Innovator and startup. But just wanted to tell that if you fit into the tier 1 investor level where you can invest 2 million, buying bonds, stocks, we can help, because there's tier 1 investor visa it still exists, and you can buy stocks and bonds. If you feel that you are meeting that criteria, then yes, we can help. So then we have an innovator visa. We can also help with a sole representative visa. Yes, sole representative visa is if you are setting up a branch in the UK, or willing to set up a branch, or you've been working and the company that willing to send you as a sole representative to set up a branch, then it could be a good way to also let us know. I think if you feel that you are you fit the sole representative criteria, and you would like to know more about best ways, book an expert consultation with us and we will give you. But today's topic is all about the startup innovator visa. But just to let you know that we have other visa programs where we can assist with. So okay, but briefly, as I said, the startup visa doesn't you need to have original business idea. There's endorsement criteria. We will tell you more in detail. Innovator visa would require £50,000 minimum investment, but you still need to have original business idea. Sole representative visa doesn't require investment, but you need to set up a branch. There are criteria that you need to meet. And tier 1 investor visa 2 million. So perhaps you can let us know which option would you like. It's quite an interesting question. And maybe some people just reply, I'm interested in 2 million option. So, okay. So that's the quick question to audience. If you have never heard about these types of visa, just reply, I never heard about these visas, and find out more about particular visa perhaps. Just let us know. Okay, yeah, some quite good replies. So rep, startup, innovator, any investor visa?
The thing is, Mustafa, that when we talk to individual people, we always look at every possibility and give the individual the benefit of knowing every way they could get a visa. So we never limit ourselves to one consideration if we see there is a better one available.
So I totally agree. We will assess your case, and we will. I mean,
Shafali wants more information, and the thing is, Shafali, there's more information to provide than you could reasonably provide in a webinar if it did not go on for hours. But the specific questions that you might have, we can always answer.
So another question to our audience, do you have a business experience? Please reply yes if you do. No if you've been, for example, employed. If yes, please let us know what business sector. I think that will be also good to have. So we'd like to have more interaction with our audience, like have more interactive webinar, please reply and we will appreciate
Yes,
it.
I see Gopakumar has IT knowledge. Again, that offers up other areas of interest beyond what we can cover today. So that's an interesting possibility,
Yeah.
because we have access to job opportunities for people with IT skills.
Yes, I agree. So maybe the Isle of Man option will be a great option. Again, this is another topic, but we can cover this during the consultations if you book the consultation with us. Question to audience, another. I'd like to, sorry for having questions. Have you heard about this program? I mean, the Startup Visa program. I mean, if you have heard about the program, then please reply yes. If not, of course, no. That for our survey. Okay, seems like many people heard about this already, so that's good to know. Startup visa, as of 29th of March 2019, the government has discontinued the UK Tier 1 Entrepreneur Visa. As we said, we've been very, very successful with this type of visa. And the Startup Visa been replaced, well, the Tier 1 Entrepreneur Visa been replaced with the Startup Innovator Visa. So the Startup Visa is valid for 2 years, and after which the applicant may qualify for the Innovator Visa, which is valid for 3 years. Okay, so, and applicants are eligible for indefinite leave to remain. Indefinite leave to remain means the permanent residency after holding the Innovator Visa for 3 years. For those that may not qualify for the Innovator Visa from the beginning, the Startup Visa acts as a stepping stone to obtaining the Innovator Visa after a period of 2 years. Okay, so that's the advantage of the Startup Visa, is that within that 2 years, of course, you need to have original business idea, which will come to that. But the initial 2 years before you switch to the Innovator Visa, then you can even work. There's an opportunity for employment. So the government doesn't restrict you to work within that 2 years. And the Startup Visa category is aimed at new, high potential, ambitious entrepreneurs who are starting their first UK business. And applicants do not require any initial funds to invest in the business and must not have started the business in the UK prior to the application. And successful applicants, as I said, for Startup Visas are granted leave for 2 years, and you can bring your spouse, you can bring your family. Children aged below 18 years old can join you. During the initial leave period, 2 years, applicants need to spend the majority of their time focusing on developing their business, but may also undertake other work outside of their business in order to support themselves. So, as I said, government doesn't restrict you to look for employment to support yourself. When the 2 years up, holders of Startup Visa are permitted to switch to the Innovator Visa in order to extend your stay and continue to develop a business in the UK. So,
Muzaffar, just to mention, I saw a question, it's disappeared, but I think it was Bassam who said that he heard the government were being difficult about getting innovation accepted. The answer, Bassam, is that's not correct. The point is, you've got to have a proper presentation and a proper business plan. We don't present cases which we feel are risky, and we always talk with the endorsing bodies, and we know that subject to the places being available, if we present an innovation, it will always have a reasonable prospect of success. So that issue about the government just isn't relevant, because it's not the government that gives the endorsements, it's the endorsing bodies.
Yes, that's correct. And like Harvey said, the key requirements for Startup Visa is the need to obtain the endorsement letter from an approved endorsing body. The endorsement letter needs to show that all applicants or applications for the Startup Visa have been assessed to innovation, viability, and scalability. The applicants need to have a genuine, original business idea and plan which is in line with new or existing market needs and has a competitive advantage. So viability, scalability, and innovation is the key. So if you have, maybe there's another question to our audience: do you have innovative idea? Do you have any innovative idea that you think, just you can reply yes, or just in a simple word, what is an idea? Question to audience, again, I think I've already asked, do you have an innovative idea? If yes, just tell us in one word, in what sector maybe, or in 3 words, describe it. Okay, Harvey said about the endorsement. Let me just give you a broad clarity about the endorsement. The applicant of a new business must demonstrate the criteria of the following separate categories to be endorsed. So we've mentioned about the innovation. So just to clarify, what is the understanding or the requirements when it comes to the innovation? So the applicant has a genuine, original business plan. That's the key. And that meets new or existing market needs, or creates a competitive advantage. Okay, so we need to show that it's maybe technology when you're creating app, but you need to show some innovation that is unique. We call it USB. Viability is the applicant has the necessary skills, knowledge, and experience. So you need to show that you have that experience, you have the skills, knowledge, and market awareness. You understand the market to successfully run the business. And scalability, of course, you need to provide the evidence that of structured planning and of potential for job creation and growth into national and international markets. So, for example, UK encourages export. If you show that you are expanding your business in the UK, you're setting up, but then expanding in internationally, then it's great. That's what they want to see as scalability as well. Furthermore, the endorsing body must be satisfied that the applicant will spend the entire working time in the UK on developing business ventures. So you need to show that you are working on developing your business idea. Isn't it, Harvey? So those are...
Can I just polish off 3 questions quickly? Chris asked, can we give examples of businesses considered innovative? The answer, Chris, is every business that has an innovation can qualify. There is no rule. It's up to you to present in your business plan the business you propose and say why it is innovative. As far as Kaja is concerned, fashion ideas are fine. And then Ibrahim says there's a challenge because endorsing bodies need to invest in the business. And the answer is they often take equity in the business. It's not open to you to say you don't need it, because they normally take the investment in shares, not money. And if you're not prepared to allow them to invest, then they won't issue you with an endorsement, because that's the basis on which they work. So as with any angel investor, they're not going to invest their time and their effort in return for nothing.
Yeah, I agree. So the endorsement is there are specific requirements for when it comes to the endorsement. So we've explained that.
Yeah, and sorry, Mus, Chris asked whether the approach is the same in the Isle of Man, and the answer is it pretty much is. The Isle of Man maybe have a more lenient view of what is innovation. They've got slightly different rules to the UK, but as a general proposition, it's pretty much the same.
Yes, Harvey. So the questions to audience: how do you like the program? Please write your comments if you like one, and if you don't like, then 0. So, and I think some people also replied about the innovative business idea in 3 words. I think that is good description. Someone said that you have an app. It's good to hear that some people have some original business ideas.
The thing to explain is that when we analyze the background, the qualifications of the person, we can often identify an innovative possibility which they may not have realized. and that very often happens.
Yes, exactly. So we can help. In terms of the only 25 places are available in terms of the endorsing body. This is endorsing body's quota, like Harvey mentioned. Each endorsing body has a quota, and we have access to 3 of them, 2 in the UK, 1 in the Isle of Man. And just to let you know, each endorsing body, they have a quota. They can only endorse 25 places per year. So that makes this visa quite limited.
Muzz, just to interrupt you, in the Isle of Man at the present time, they don't have a list, they don't have a quota, and in fact, I've just been invited by the Isle of Man government to write to them with my proposals as to how they could improve their visa arrangements. And when I get a moment, I will follow that up and write to them, as they approached me yesterday. And knowing our close interest in the Isle of Man, they asked me to give them my views.
Yes, so we can access to the Isle of Man as well as there is Innovator and startup visas. We know how to set, how to assist. So I actually asked the question to audience. I could see that the people are replying, saying, how familiar are you with the Innovator visa? So we're now moving from the startup visa to the Innovator visa. And then we will move to the sections where we will tell about the tips and traps to avoid. Okay, so how familiar? Please reply. The Innovator visa is the replacement for the Tier 1 entrepreneur visa, as we said earlier. The Innovator visa category is for non-EEA nationals who are experienced business people seeking to establish a business in the UK. So if you have some business experience, then it's great, because that will help for your Innovator visa application, and you will need to have 50,000. I'll come up to that point whether 50,000 is enough, but that's the minimum requirement. £50,000 is to invest in your business.
I think, Mustafa, just to mention, Ibrahim was saying that you can't get the visa if you don't give the endorsing body equity. That's not completely right. If you're sufficiently well funded, that you don't need them to give you, as you put it, money, then there will be other visa categories that might possibly be relevant to you, where you may not need to give equity. But if you're going for the startup or innovator, you've got to ask yourself what exactly the endorsing body would, why they would want to endorse you, what benefit, what gain is there for them in this arrangement if they don't have an interest in your company, which will encourage them in the future to assist you in providing further funds.
Yes, thanks, Harvey. And in the case of team entrepreneurs, each team member must have to a minimum of 50,000, but we will come to that on the tips and traps section. Team members can allow it in the same business and theoretically, but we will come up on and tell you more about what you can do in order to strengthen your application. And under the new rules, applicants can rely on investment they have already made in their business, but only those made within 12 months of their application. Okay, so the Innovator visa, successful innovators are granted leave for 3 years at a time, and can also bring their family members, spouse, children below 18 years old. Innovators must work entirely on developing their business ventures. And after 3 years, innovators can apply to extend their stay for a further 3 years or to settle permanently in the UK. I think one of the attractiveness of the Innovator visa, as we said, startup visa, it was a stepping stone. You apply for 2 years and switch to Innovator visa, and after 5 years you can apply for permanent residency. But if you start with Innovator visa, then you have an option after 3 years to apply for indefinite leave to remain. That's fantastic, because in my opinion it's a fast track with less investment, but because you can get the similar visa I mean, not similar visa, but you can get a visa under 2 million option, isn't it, Harvey? Like people can invest 2 million and get the permanent residency after 5 years, but with Innovator visa, you can even fast track.
Well, the basic point is there is no need for anybody to put up £2 million because there are ways of achieving the same outcome with a fraction of that money. So there is little purpose if you have £2 million putting £2 million forward to get the visa. There is simply little purpose in it.
Yes, and also just to let you know, we will tell what are there are criteria to meet in order to apply for permanent residency after 3 years. But and then the Home Office listed 7 criteria, and I'll come to that in a minute. But what I'm saying, if you don't meet the criteria, the 2 criteria from 7 after 3 years under the Innovator visa before you apply for ILR, then you can extend your visa. So the visa will not be refused. You just extend it for another 3 years, provided that you've been keeping, continued a relationship with the endorsing bodies and you pass the checkpoints. But we will come to that. So,
and just in Muzaffar, I see that Chinesi says that he's got a lot of management experience, and how would he be an innovator? And the answer, Chinesi, is when we talk to you and we see the areas in which you have that experience, it would be very likely that we will show you where your experience will lead you to an innovative idea.
Yes, we will need to assess your CV. You need to assess your background, and I think during the personal consultation, when we discuss, we ask questions, and then we can come up. We can make you, like Harvey said, to think about how we can make you an innovator.
And the other thing is, Shafali, there aren't age limits on this, so. As long as I think you can even, I've got a feeling the age limit is 16, but to start with, but basically there is no age restriction if you have an innovative idea, and we have people of all ages coming to us to discuss ideas.
Yes, as long as you are above 18 years old, there's no age limit. Okay, so the business has the requirements to qualify for indefinite to remain. There are 7 criteria I mentioned. You need to meet 2 of them before you apply for indefinite or permanent residency visa. So what are these criteria? So the Home Office has published a list of criteria, and the individual is required to satisfy at least 2 of them. So first, number 1 is you invested £50,000. You need to invest £50,000, and you need to provide the evidence that that's been done, and also you need to provide the evidence that you've been actively spending time and furthering this business plan assessed in the applicant's previous endorsement. It needs to sort of match to initial endorsement, business plan, etc. So that's the first. The second criteria is the number of business customers has at least doubled with the most recent 3 years, and is currently higher than the mean number of customers for other UK businesses offering comparable main products or services. So it's quite a bit of gray still. I mean, it's not really clear how you can kind of justify it, but again, it's endorsing bodies. If they believe that you are increased your number of customers doubled, and it's kind of sort of the same as your competitors, you've done research, then you have the chance here as well. Then the third criteria is that the business has engaged in significant research and development activity and has applied for intellectual property protection in the UK. Let's say your original idea is actually involved in intellectual property rights, licensing, patenting, or research and development.
And just to stop you there, whilst you're on that subject, Soha has a lot of qualifications in food technology, and there are a lot of opportunities in the food sector, Soha, that we're aware of. And Sanctus wants to consult with us from Manchester. So that's absolutely fine, Sanctus. We'll look forward to talking to you.
Yes. So we'll look forward to speaking with you. So let us know if you'd like to know more about. Just to continue the point, if you're been in heavily research and development, that's number 3rd criteria. Number 4th criteria, that the business has generated a minimum annual gross revenue of 1 million in the last full year covered by its accounts. Some businesses can scale up to 1 million revenue, which is quite achievable within 3 years. So if you meet, then you can tick that second box. As I said, you only need to meet tick 2 boxes from 7. The number 5 or 5th criteria is the business is generating a minimum annual gross revenue of £500,000 in the last full year covered by its accounts. If you're doing export, if you can show 100,000 export, then you don't need to show 1 million revenue. You can limit to 500,000, including your 100,000 export. So number 6 criteria is that if you're creating, or the business has created at least 10 full-time jobs lasted for minimum 12 months, then that also ticks the box. The last criteria is that if you created the equivalent of at least 5 full-time jobs for resident workers or settled, which have an average salary of at least £25,000 salary, then that will also tick the box. So let us know. Maybe it's again to the audience. I would like to ask audience which criteria you think is best suitable to your business idea. If you think that it's challenging, then just reply challenging. But if you feel that you will meet one of these 2 criteria, what are the easiest for you? It would be good to know. Okay.
Whilst answers are being received, AJ, you've asked about export. Export is not in itself relevant. It's all to do with the quality of the business. Obviously, if the business can do exports, it's more likely to be a scalable business and therefore attractive. That's how to look at it. Exporting is not the key.
Yeah, I think quite a good. I mean, Prabioti Chadha said that number 4, 7, and 6 quite achievable. So that's good to know. Seems like you have quite scalable business. You can reach to 1 million revenue. It's good to know. And because 0.5, I asked because of 0.5, AJ, 0.5, yes, 500,000. If you show 100,000 export, then it's good. But as I said earlier, here, these are also one of the criteria. 50,000 invested, you tick 1 box. You only need to tick another box from that 6 list of 6 remaining, and just let us know, because it could be research and development. It could be
and the revenue. If you can generate revenue from exporting to any country, or even from sales within the home market.
Kaja, good comments. I will meet Innovator Visa perfectly. The business idea which I have, unique, scalable, and innovative, I can able to invest 50,000. Good to know, Kaja. We'd like to hear. Book the consultation with us. I think that's the best way to where we can focus on you, focus on your idea, and how we can assist. Okay, so those are my questions regarding the meeting the criteria. I hope you now kind of understand what are the 7 criteria, and you only need to meet 2. Maybe your already business idea is actually you feel that, well, I can easily meet this. To buy some of the answers, some of the answers I felt they said challenging. It's also understandable. We can accept that, because if it's challenging, we can also help. Because one of the procedures how we can help, once you apply for the Innovator Visa, we can assist you with endorsement checkpoints, because under the requirements of endorsement, there will be 6 months checkpoints, 12 months checkpoints, 24 months checkpoints, and after your application is successful. So you need to keep a relationship with endorsing bodies, and we can help you. We can help you with writing reports to the endorsing bodies on your behalf. So that's part of our assistance. And the endorsing body will need to be satisfied that you are continuing to work on your business venture and have demonstrated reasonable progress in relation to your original idea, which is innovative, scalable, and viable. And your endorsement may be withdrawn on you, and your leave curtailed if this is not the case. So you need to make sure that you keep a relationship with endorsing bodies. But because of our relationship with them as well, we can assist.
Okay. Rahim asked whether the new requirements from the Home Office affect the Innovator or startup. The answer is they affect the visas to the extent that you have to comply with the new rules. But the new rules are no problem to anybody who is dealing with this in a genuine way. The purpose of the changes was to stop people who were abusing the spirit of the rules, and they now have been stopped. But these requirements in no way affect what we do, because we were never doing things that were objectionable.
Yes, Harvey, I totally agree. Friday asked question. Friday, I seen your question. You're asking what is the minimum stay on all these types of visas. It's a good question, and there's a minimum stay requirement for all UK visas, whether you consider the investor visa, sole rep. You need to meet the minimum stay of 184 days in the UK in each year on the duration of before you apply for ILR. Each year, 184 days you can stay in the UK, 184 days you have to stay in the UK, 180 days you can be out of the UK. 184 days is not continuous stay, it's a consecutive. So please, I hope that answers to your question, Friday, but it's a good question. Okay, so eligibility criteria, you are at least 18 years old and you have at least 50,000 available. You need to show. But Harvey, do you think 50,000 is enough?
Well, you have to persuade the endorsement body that your idea will succeed. So they have to relate your idea to the money that's needed to give it a reasonable chance of success. And if they think you have the world's best idea but no resources to make it happen, they're not going to give you an endorsement. So you have to relate in your business plan the idea that you're putting forward to the money that you say you need to make it viable. And that's something we always look at. It's not an absolute rule, but essentially an idea with no money at all is going to be a difficult idea to promote, because in the UK, it's hard to make any idea succeed without some investment.
Yes, Harvey. So, and it will help if you show, for example, not necessarily you need to show the 50,000 is a minimum requirement, but you also need to show that you have access to further resources if the business requires funding in future. That's the endorsing body that will help to convince the endorsing bodies as well. So,
and also the endorsing body itself can help you raise money,
yeah,
and introduce investors. So everything turns on the quality of your proposal.
I totally agree. And you have been, well, there are the eligibility, as I said, you've been endorsed. You can show 50,000. You genuinely intend to undertake a business, and you do not intend to work in the UK under this Innovator visa, other than that for the business you have established. And then, well, you are genuinely available. Money is genuinely available, whether it's a third party. By the way, it doesn't have to be your money. It can be third party funds. And when it comes to English requirements, it's a B2 level. And if you convert to IELTS, it's 5.5 on each level: reading, speaking, listening, writing. And apart from £50,000 investment funds, you need to show sort of living expenses, like, for example, per family member. Let's say if you have a family of 5 people, then £945 per person you need to show in the account, apart from £50,000, just to show how you can maintain your life in the UK.
Maz, just to quickly answer some people, Babu asked us if we do the business plans. The answer is yes, Babu. And Shafali asked us whether you're better off doing the Innovator or the sole representative. And the answer is, when we analyze the individual case, it becomes very clear usually which is the better one. So And I think there's one of the question is, what's the success rate? The answer is, we wouldn't put forward an application without having a very high confidence level that it will be accepted. So we would be very surprised if anything we put forward was refused. And if it was refused, we have the option of making the same application to another endorsement body. And frankly, that's what we do. So the endorsing bodies hold us in sufficiently high regard it would be very, very unusual if they refused one of our clients, indeed.
How long it takes, Harvey? The question from Umer, how long does it take to get your business plan?
Well, I think in the current climate, I would allow 4 weeks to prepare the paperwork for the endorsing body and 4 weeks for them to make a decision.
Yeah, that's the 6 to 8 weeks, I would say, from start to finish, including preparation of the business.
But of course, remember, you've still got to get the visa. Normally, the Home Office would do that as a matter of routine. But as part of the changes to prevent abuse, we believe it's likely that they may interview people who've been endorsed to make sure the endorsing body has not acted in an incorrect way. But if that happens, we are very expert on training our clients for interviews and knowing how to explain the questions that are likely to be asked and the issues they need to address. So we can give our clients a full interview training program. So if they are requested to attend an interview, they are very well prepared.
Yes, Harvey, I just wanted to make a comment that Babu said that this is my turnover of my company is 43 crores. Babu, sorry, I didn't understand what crores mean, but I think maybe it's a slang and Indian, maybe there's a conversion, but perhaps you can convert that in UK pounds so we can understand more. That will help. So, okay, 15 traps and tips. Harvey, perhaps I could kind of put these tip and traps into 2 or 3 different presentations, but I think we will do that in the next time. So we have these 15 traps and tips listed, as you can see, and then we will. And this is, of course, where our expertise also, makes us different. I mean, if you ask what makes us different from other firms, number one, as we said, the most important thing is having access, relationship with endorsing bodies. I think that's really puts us apart. And also, we know what is and how to strengthen your application and the ways. There are a number of factors we need to consider, whether it's a business planning, with the tailoring your CV. I think there are questions, what is the success rate on sole rep visa? It's not, today we're not talking about sole representative visas, but definitely the success. We have, whether it's a sole rep or other types of visa, the reason that at the end, the reason that we've been successful is, or our clients been successful with getting these visas, because behind the work involved as a business planning, we know where to put all the dots and links together to make sure that your skills and experience matching to the business you do, and the business plan is tailored to your needs. Like you tailor the suit to yourself, that we tailor the business plan to your business and original business idea as well. So not having a funds, we put as a first sort of trap and tip. That could be a good point. So the reason is it here, because when we say 50,000, it's just like an entry point, but you still need to show to the endorsing body that you have enough funds to establish your business, isn't it, Harvey?
Yes, and just to mention that the gentleman who referred, to the crores, yes, it looks like you've got a very significant turnover, and therefore you'd be in a good position to apply for more than one type of visa.
So
just looking at these 15 points, and as Muzaffar said, we could spend a long time on each one of them, but simply the point about the funds is making the mistake of believing that the minimum requirement put out in the government documents is actually the only amount you need. That's not right. It's just the minimum. And we know that the endorsing bodies want a higher level. And we also know that the government have actually changed the rules to reflect that. Clearly, they couldn't admit to making a mistake, but they now say as a new rule that the endorsing body has got to be satisfied that you have the resources to make your ideas reality, which is a similar way of saying you need the money. If you get the endorsement, you still have to be fully involved in your business. You can't sit back. Applying as a team is a very bad idea because each member of the team is regarded as a separate visa, effectively. And when you only have a limited number of visas, the endorsing body is not going to be in favor of losing two potential companies on one application, because the two people will each be regarded as a separate loss of a quota place. Now, I've raised the issue of the possible interview, and that needs to be remembered. It's often forgotten. And about the business plan, the point is the government tend to think about this very much in a technological way. But whatever idea you put forward, even if it's not a technology-based idea, it's very good to have some technological aspect to it. And we're always able to suggest how you could apply some tech innovation to any idea you put forward. The need to understand that the endorsing body does not just give you a rubber stamp. They have their own terms and conditions, just like an offer of a loan or finance. The finance company has terms and conditions. They will as well. The terms and conditions will need to be negotiated, which we will do. Essentially, they shouldn't be a problem, but you need to remember they may require you to do certain things as a condition of getting the endorsement. Now, we've discussed, Muzaffar's discussed the issue of the quota, and so we're fully familiar about that. And if you want to press on for a couple of moments,
failing to understand the quota. Yeah, I agree. So failing to understand terms and for endorsing bodies, checkpoints of 6 months, that you need to keep relationship. Yes, not applying technology to the plan when it comes to the innovation. Think about when it comes to the idea, what is the unique, what is technology? Maybe it's an app. So, but the business plan has to consider the technology aspect, and failing to understand ongoing liability of the visas, as that's keeping relationship with endorsing bodies, not matching your plan to available resources. Again, that's been covered, showing enough funds because we know that to establish business in the UK, you need to at least 100,000, but 50,000 is like a stepping first step. Failing to demonstrate that you are genuine, as you know, as I said earlier, you need to genuinely spend the money to your business and genuinely undertake the business venture. So that's also key to success of getting the endorsement and also getting your visa extended. Always have a plan B. I think that's another, Harvey, isn't it? How plan B. And then
plan B is, as we said earlier, we normally identify another type of visa that you may be able to apply for should you be unsuccessful. So it's always good to know there is another choice.
Yes. And we have a number of other visa programs, whether it's when we discuss with you, when you and also, as I said, like during the webinar, we have a very time limit, so we can't really cover all the questions. We would love to, but we don't. We can't physically can. But best way, we've been busy lately with the consultations because you can reserve your place. The best way is just book the consultation. I think you will receive the link if anyone would like to receive. I mean, perhaps that's another question. Maybe who wants to get a consultation from Harvey? Just let us know. That would be, myself will have a consultation with us. To be honest, like not Harvey or myself, but with us. So please reply if you'd like to have a consultation. So that's the best way to find out, so we can focus on you. Make sure you have a not considering third-party funds. I think people sometimes.
Yes, people sometimes can provide the necessary money from family or friends. And that is the point. Don't always look to yourself for the money if you have other people who can help you. The other important thing is to prove that what you're telling people is true, which means getting certificates of your education and proof of the things you say you've done. I saw a question. I've missed it.
Can a chartered accountant apply for it?
Yeah. Yes. Of course. And lawyers. We quite often get lawyers coming to us. So that's the answer to that question. There was a question from Sohar about fees of the endorsing body. No, they don't charge fees, monetary fees. They expect to be paid in equity in the company that they are supporting with an endorsement. So that is the answer to that.
So, always get your evidence together to validate your background. Harvey, what do you think?
Yes, that's very important. Karja wrote a question I don't really understand about some guarantee if things have not happened. I think the point, Karja, is the only thing I'll guarantee you is death and taxes. So no one can give you a guarantee, but we won't take on a case if we're not confident it will succeed. I can assure you we're far too busy to even begin to think about doing that.
Yeah.
Although Muzaffar is offering consultations, and that's absolutely fine, Muzaffar, we will do consultations with people who've listened to this. Please understand we are booked up every day, all day long, with people consulting us. So
Yes, that's a good point. If you want to secure the slot for next week, I know it's been for like almost if you will get the slots, so you can choose your convenient slot, but you may have some slots already booked because of the, like Harvey said, we've been very busy with the demand or interest on this innovator and startup visa. I think there were questions regarding the fees. I'm coming to that, so we'll cover. Stay with us. And we have some bonuses to announce today, so stay with us. So we'll announce that. So as well, we can make you an innovator, like Harvey said.
Muzaffar, I'm just going to disappear for a minute. I've just got to move computers because I'm losing battery, so I'm going to switch over.
Sure. No, let's make sure that we have the good connectivity and we can see you. Okay, so Canfields can help you meet the requirements for the Innovator visa. We can show you where you are an innovator, because I think people feel that, okay, what if I don't have the original business idea? What if I never done business if you've never done business in the UK, that's already sort of, area that you need to kind of, those questions can arise. So, but we are here to assist. If you don't have an innovative business idea, we can help you with that. If you don't have original business idea, yes, ideally we want it come from you, but we can help you with that as well. We have this brainstorming session where we can discuss that all. We test your skills, we test your knowledge, we test your experience, and from your career to develop the idea you have. Then we would work to improve your idea. to level you could get an endorsement for the Innovator visa. We know what the endorsement bodies are looking for. Even if you have a one-page information, we can expand it to sort of 50-page business plan. So that's the point. And we have our in-house business plan writers. We have our designers. So we can dress it up, the plan. And we know, because we've been in the startup funding industry for more than 6 years now already. So we know how to present, how to pitch to the endorsing bodies, how to, tick all the boxes what they're looking for. So that's why, this is where we can assist. So question to our audience, please let us know what sector experience do you have. If you are from medical, please reply medical. If you are an architect, if you are a lawyer, if you are, I don't know, like fashion designer, any, just a one word, sector, what sector you are in. If you've been employed, what sector? If you're running business, what sector? So it would be good to know. Chartered accountant, great. So Supriya, Asim, IT and education, great. Folarin, yes, IT, publishing, food processing, engineering, accounting, great. Travel consultant, architect, fantastic. So good to hear. Finance, but my idea is an IT sector, accounting. That's good, because that's where the idea, if it's in IT sector, then it's great, because that's where we can stress on technology. But don't worry about not, being an accountant and finance field and IT. I think you are in the right direction, but we can tailor your business plan into your idea. Business consultant, oil and gas engineering, Stephen, Rahim, business consultant, fantastic. Online payments, AJ, yes. Architect, Neil, Umer, that's great to know. Okay, great to know, Umer. Okay, so moving to the next step, the business plan. I mentioned about artificial intelligence, robotics, Garima. That's good to know, because we have a startup that we successfully funded in artificial intelligence and robotics, like haptic device. But it would be good to hear and know more about your background as well. Lawyer, financial management, fantastic, Chinese. Okay, so when it comes to the business planning, we have in-house business plan writer and research team. And we have high successful visa. The reason that we've been successful is also business planning and understanding what is needed. And we know how we can bring to the endorsement level and pass the endorsement. And as I said, for most firms, it's quite challenging because they don't have the relationship. But because the fund managers, we've been involved under the Seed Mentors. Harvey is the founder of Seed Mentors. And the relationship we've been having for 7 years with the fund, they have this endorsement they've been in now. So we can assist. We have that relationship. Now it comes to the process. I know Harvey is joining. Harvey, perhaps you joined, but we couldn't see you. Maybe you can try again. Just press the camera button. And that will solve the process. The initial consultations, that's the first step. If you would like to know, I heard that many of you were interested. So that's the first step. Book a consultation so we can focus on your needs and find the right solution. Documentation preparation is the next step. So then we start working on your innovative business plan, discussing. We'll have business planning session where we can brainstorm and expand your idea. Then we apply. I think the questions were from Umer, how long it takes. Yes, it takes about 6 weeks, up to 6 weeks to prepare the business plan. But we can fast track. We can complete within 4 weeks. But the business plan is the key. We don't want to rush, but we also want to make sure that we are preparing within 4 weeks or 6 weeks time. Then it's another 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks to get endorsement, but overall 6 to 8 weeks from start to getting the endorsement. And processing of the visa application, we will submit once they get endorsement. Then within 2 weeks, we can submit your visa for your visa, and then you get the visa, you come to the UK. Assistance with reports to the endorsement body, we will provide that. I'll mention about the checkpoints, reporting, keeping the relationship, we can assist. Every 6 months, we can write the reports on your behalf. Hi, Harvey, welcome back.
Yeah, I hope I'll be okay. If I disappear, it's too bad, but you keep going.
No, I hope you sorted out the battery.
Well, we're trying, but
we don't lose you.
Yeah.
Okay, so assistance with reports, endorsing body, application for permanent residency. So then next will be, once you pass these checkpoints, then after 3 years on the Innovator visa, you can apply for permanent residency for your for your spouse and children below 18 years Yeah. Just press the camera button, and that should solve video and the sound. Okay, can't hear you, Harvey. AJ is saying. I think that's the same thing as it. How much time we will have to move to UK after Innovator visa? Okay, that's a good question for Hannah. For Hannah, it's a good question in terms of once you get the visa, you still have a bit of flexibility time to sort out your plans, settlements, because I know the relocation is kind of quite a thing that you need to plan and ahead. And I would say you will have 4 months to settle your, for example, your before you move in. But also, once you get the visa, you can come in the beginning to show that you checked in. But at the same time, if you need more time to spend, there is still flexibility. But I would say I would say 4 months. That would be my answer. Up to 4 months, but you can come and go once you come. If you need to travel back or sort out other plans, then you have that flexibility. The best way is to book a consultation so I can give you more details if that's the key concern. Okay, I'm already in the UK on tier 4. Plan was return apply, but because of Corona situation, visa has been extended till July. I have been told Home Office is permitting visa change within till if you apply by 31st of July, we can do that, AJ. Okay, so we've covered the fees, and it's 7,000 per year. So that initial 7,000 is paid in 2 installments. I can tell you, and also we've mentioned the limited availability places for the Innovator or even a startup visa, because endorsement bodies, they have only 25 and per year. Once they run out with the endorsement places, then you miss out. So kind of you catch the train if you take the place if you secure the endorsement place for your case. Harvey, welcome back.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a small comment to Babu. The point, Babu, is that each case is very individual. There is no generic information here that you can impart which does not involve the personal attention of whoever is presenting your application. And that's what you need to appreciate. So this is not a situation where you can just look at the rules or be told about the rules and not understand how you have to present your position within the rules. So, and it does very much depend upon who is doing your case. And that is why we are very much focused on how we do things, because not everybody is the same.
Yes, good point. And I think Sumesh asking, is it possible to invest in some existing business, get visa on that basis? What is the minimum investment requirement? Sumesh, I will come to the question and answer section, but I think, yes, we can answer to your question.
Can I just give a quick answer? You can't invest in an existing business. That is something that is now prohibited because people abuse the rules. But we can introduce you to people in the UK who will assist you in setting up your new business or new business idea. But just giving money to existing companies, it's a bad idea anyway, but it's something that people were trying to use as a scam to get round the rules, and the Home Office have caught up with them, and they've absolutely, completely correctly put a stop to it.
Yes, I totally agree. So just to continue, we've covered the questions. I hope that now our answers. But many people asking, what is the fee? That's the fee, and I think Farhana was asking, it's for 3 years. Yes, it's 21,000 installments. So 7,000 you pay first year, second year, and third. That's it's been quite beneficial for the client because it's like pay as you go based on success. We pass.
Yes. I just want to answer a question from Amir about how many endorsement bodies are available. Well, Amir, if you go on the website and government website, you'll see there are about 46, 47, maybe a maximum of 48 endorsing bodies. But if you study them as closely as I have, you will soon reach a conclusion that there are only 2 or 3 at the very most that would listen to the sort of cases that we're talking about today. And the reason I know this so well is we have so many cases coming to us. I have a concern that the people that we have our relationships with may not be able to cope with all the cases we have. And therefore, I always study what is possible. And I'm telling you, it's virtually impossible to find other bodies because they have very specific requirements. They often limit themselves to certain types of business for certain types of people who've signed up with very expensive courses for them to start with. For example, on the fashion endorsement body, you've got to pay £7,500 to go on a course before they'll even consider you. And they don't even give you any assurance that if you do the course, they'll give you an endorsement. Well, who on earth is going to do that? Nobody. So it is a difficult area, and that is why our superior knowledge on other possibilities and other ways of doing it, and how you can use the Isle of Man who do not have quotas, can be so incredibly valuable. So that's what I would like to tell you about that.
Yes, I totally agree. So also when it comes to the fee, as I said, that 7,000, we have the the installment. So its initial deposit is 50%, which is 3,500. So we can, this is an offer. But we have, in the beginning, I said that we have offer or bonus that I'd like to tell to audience today. So basically, we call it one-time offer for attending our webinar. Attending and watching. Also, it was great questions, great points, great industry. So it's let us know, and we will help. We will help, and we can start your case with as low as 1,500. So what is the initial 50% normally we charge? That's for to start the work with preparation of the business plan and getting to the endorsement. But we can do that start with as low as 1,500. That's the deal for today. But obviously, this is a deal, and how to secure it. And the best ways to secure it is book a consultation, so we can actually secure this offer for you. And once we can call this also a special offer. For how Harvey? I mean, of course, there's quite a good work involved. I mean, how would you call it? Is it special offer? Because we need to develop the business plan, we need to approach the endorsing body, and we need to get to the it's also inclusive getting the endorsement. So how would you call this? Is it like a special offer or COVID special offer? I don't know.
Well, it's a special offer, whatever we call it. We're giving an advantage to the people who have spent time listening to us. And it's as simple as that. It's not an offer that we're going to keep available for very long because we're offering an awful lot of service here for a very, very small amount of money.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Farhana is asking right question. So no, it's not 2 installments. So basically, it will be 3 installments with this offer. So it's 1,500, for example, up to the getting to the endorsement. Once we successfully got the endorsement, then there will be a second payment of 3,500. Then we'll apply for a visa, and after getting the visa, then it's 2,000 balance will.
Yes. Sorry, Umar wants us to tell everybody who the 3 endorsement bodies are. I'm really sorry, Umar, I'm not prepared to do that. And I can also tell you that the 3 people, I'm happy to tell you who they are if we actually consult with you.
Yeah.
I can assure you none of them will accept direct applications. And if you go to them, they will only refer you back to us. And if that's what you do, you'll go in a very big book, which is coloured black. So these people will not accept direct applications. And if you go through every single body on the government website, I think there's hardly one of them. I don't think I found one of them that will accept a direct application anymore. You've got to go through their intermediaries. and that's how it works. They will not accept general applications.
Yeah.
And one of the bodies actually has now got a notice on the website saying, don't bother to come to us. You can go to Harvey first, and that's the only people we're going to listen to.
That's a good point. Like endorsing body saying, like, don't come to us. Speak with Harvey first, and then if Harvey approves, then I mean that's also
well. That's only in relation to one of the bodies we deal with. The other one effectively applies the same situation. And the one in the Isle of Man, we have a special relationship to the extent where the government of the Isle of Man actually come to me and ask me for my opinion on how they can improve the rules. So we only deal with people who've known us for a very, very long time. All the other people we'd be happy to deal with. But if you look at their criteria, frankly, the clients that we deal with would never fit them. And they have their own relationships with their own people. And I don't see how the vast number of people we deal with, and we understand the market better than anyone else, how these people will ever get in front of them. And that's one of the reasons why many of the bodies don't grant any endorsements, because they make the criteria so difficult, nobody can apply.
Yes, and Umer, I think just to add to your points, I think the best is to, once you start with us, then of course we can disclose, but perhaps you understand the reason. Once you become our client, then we can give you access. You're not our client as yet because we haven't met you, we haven't spoken to you. So, and once you become our client, then yes, you'll have wide access to all the information to the endorsing bodies, and that will be fair step. And I think, so basically, just to clarify, Farhana, to your question, just to repeat, it's 3 stages. So 1,500, once we get the endorsement, you have second payment would be 3,500. Then we'll apply for a visa. After getting the visa, it's 2,000. So it's also very good offer because I don't think that this offer will not last long. So this is more of a special offer because we are, there is quite a good amount of work involved in that initial stage as well. So, okay, then there's another bonus I would say offer we're making today during the webinar for our attendees is if you book a consultation, normally consultations our fee is £90. So, but I see some people are booked already at the £60 consultation. So I think that's the best way. We can focus on your needs, find a solution for your needs. If the Innovator visa is not for you, if a startup visa, then we'll assess the startup visa. Whether it's a startup, we can help. And if the startup visa doesn't match you, maybe we'll assess the sole representative visa, or we have Isle of Man options, or Ireland, Republic of Ireland. So, of course, we will consider, depending on your requirements, and of course, we will advise you the best program that fits you well, depending on your circumstances. So, what it includes in terms of our consultation is minimum 1 hour Skype, Zoom with myself, Harvey, brainstorm innovative idea, listen for your idea, and then expand it to see how we can expand it, how we can more innovative, to meet the criteria, and assessing then helping the endorsement stage. If the Innovator visa is not for you, then as I said, we can advise on other programs. We have Irish Isle of Man program, and you get this initial discounted for the offer on the deposit to start. So we have, this is a bonus, but we have another third bonus, I would say, when we say the plan B, and I think Harvey mentioned about the plan B earlier on the tips and tricks. So plan B is that, as I said, if, for example, if you, during the consultations, we can cover other programs as well. If, for example, you don't fit to one of these, but after listening to you, we will better understand, and we will, we can say that this program is better suitable. For example, with Harvey, we had a consultation. How many today? Like earlier consultations. Person.
Yeah, I've had a lot today. I've had more than you've had, Mustafa. But I noticed some gentleman asked about the sole representative fees, and when will we do one on that? The answer is, I'm really sorry, you missed one. We did it yesterday.
So, which one?
Some person, I'm just seeing if I can find the person. Following asked, when will there be a webinar on the sole representative? The answer is yesterday.
We had a webinar on yesterday. You missed out, but obviously, you know, the offer on this webinar, Innovator and Startup, is for today's webinar, and then it doesn't mean that the next webinar will be the same offer, because we believe at the initial stage that, well, it's quite a lot of work, and getting to the endorsement is like, it's also confidence, how we are confident to get because of the relationship, because other firms won't even offer because they don't have the relationship as we.
Other thing, what I would say to following is, if you were consulting with us, we will look at the sole representative visa with you anyway to see if it was a better option. So we would not ignore any other choices like that when you consult with us.
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask audience, do you have any questions? I know some questions being asked and we couldn't cover, so let's take about maybe 10 minutes to cover all, you know, to cover questions. We'd like to address your questions. I know we've time is limited. We already we are 1.5 hours or more, 1 hour 36 minutes. But we can take this 10 minutes to just cover your questions. So feel free to ask questions and we'll try. And as I said, if we missed out some questions earlier, it's because we have to finish the presentation first and the Q&A sessions at the end. So, but now you have this great opportunity to raise any questions, clarify. We are happy to do. And also, if any questions that you raise, you can just repeat that again. So let us know. Okay, Harvey, how to find a job for spouse? Any ideas? That's a question from Mansoor. I think Harvey's disappeared. So sorry, I think he lost power. If you get more on phone, I can continue maybe. Okay, so let me join him on the phone. Just a second, please. But to your question, Mansoor, whilst you come to the UK, we help many clients. From our experience, we help many clients. We have the access to recruitment agencies in the UK, but we need to see what's your expertise. But we have the connections. We can introduce you to the right people, companies that can assist if that's the question about the recruitment. Harvey, welcome back. So yes. We've lost you.
Sound only, Muzaffar.
Yeah, that's fine. So there are questions. I was just telling you before we adjourn this and conclude this webinar, we can take some more questions. There's a question from Sumesh. Can you explain Isle of Man residency by investment? Sumesh, I think it's a good question, and we don't 10 minutes of, we just want to be fair to everyone, because 10 minutes, I believe, will not be enough. It's a completely different topic. And the best way is, Sumesh, to find out more about the Isle of Man, because today's webinar is about the Innovator and Startup. If you have any questions about the Innovator and Startups, please do ask questions. But we can talk about the Isle of Man during our consultations. I think that will be fair to other people, because they may have some questions that they want to ask to answer. If someone gets refusal, will you help him to appeal the decision and apply to new application, Harvey? So that's Rahim.
Yes. The answer is, if you're refused, we will appeal in any event, as long as we're satisfied the refusal is unreasonable. But if there are good reasons for the refusal, then we put the issues correct if we can, and we resubmit the application. In the alternative, we put it to another endorsing body. We wouldn't just give up. We'd obviously continue providing our service until every possibility was gone through. We're not thinking this is likely to happen, but yes, definitely we would make the appeal.
Yes, definitely. If the person got refused, that's not the end. It's you have a number of avenues. You can exhaust administrative review. and you can appeal. So we can assist, but of course we don't really we will we'll submit your case as strong as possible, so you're not actually to that stage, because the way that we work is we want to get a one shot, get the visa successfully. We don't really want to think about or talk about the refusals, because it's we want to get a one shot and to successfully get the visa. So what pay package I should negotiate with? Saha is asking what pay package I should negotiate with the company for overseas representative job in the UK. I don't know whether I understood your question correctly, Harvey. What pay package she should negotiate?
The employment contract for the sole representative visa is a separate issue, and when we know the parent company, the nature of the business, then we can research what is the appropriate salary.
Yeah, that's the answers to your question, I hope. And Sumesh, are you planning to do webinar on the Isle of Man program?
The answer is we try and cover the Isle of Man in all the webinars that we do.
Yesterday.
Would we do a specific one on the Isle of Man? We might. We've got a program of about 16 webinars we're already committed to, and we'll address the Isle of Man if we can. If you want to go into the Isle of Man in detail, I think you probably need to have a special word with us.
Sure. What is Stephen asking a question, what is the rate of success seeing the government only has 25 slots for each category per year?
The answer is we can't comment on success generally. As far as our cases are concerned, we expect them all to be successful. If we didn't, we wouldn't send them in the first place. And we've got a considerable number of cases in the pipeline now, almost ready to be submitted, and they're going to use up a lot of places. And I'm quite confident from my discussions with the endorsement bodies that we will be successful. So that's all I can answer you. We generally have a very high degree of success because we specialize in business immigration. We don't do other forms of immigration. We just concentrate on one specific area, and we know what we're doing. So we won't take on the case. We definitely will not take on the case just to speculate unless we believe that the case is likely to be successful, because most of our fees are paid on success, and therefore there is absolutely no purpose in taking on bad cases. So we won't do it.
Umar is asking a question. My current Tier 4 student visa is ending on 28th of August, and I have a business idea. Is it possible to work in the given timeline with a switch to startup visa before my current visa expires? Yes or no?
Well, the answer is possibly yes, but we need to know more facts
about business idea.
What the idea is and so on.
Absolutely.
But it may be possible.
Umar, I think the best way is contact us, talk to us, and then we will see, also discuss some of the business idea. We need to know more about your business idea to comment further. Yes, it's definitely, or a possible yes. Currently it's possible yes, but we need to know more about your business idea to give you a concrete yes answer or no answer. So, but it's possible, yes, we can fit the timeline. 28th of August is perfectly doable, in my opinion. I think there's another question from AJ. AJ, thanks for booking the consultation. We look forward to meeting you. Would like to start a medical staff recruitment company in UK. What would be the process? I'm citizen of India and have an established business in the similar field here.
Well, the answer is there are a number of possibilities in that area, but frankly, we'd have to talk them through with you. But definitely, that's an interesting area where it may well be possible to develop an innovation.
Yes, perfect. So Harvey, thank you very much. how we can contact you, Suyog. Suyog, perhaps you received the link, or if you haven't received the link, you should receive after the webinar today email with the link where you can contact us or book a consultation. And I think Sayok was asking, can anyone set up a food processing in UK?
The answer is absolutely. And we actually have a couple of cases already of people who are doing exactly that.
Yeah, Rahim is asking, Muzaffar, please explain the breakup of the first year amount with the offer, Innovator Visa. So the first year amount is, as I said, 7,000. Is broken down. Normally, it's a slightly different package. Normally, the fees are paid, 50%, and just before visa application, another 50% is due. But here we made an offer. This 7,000 broken down 3 stages. So the first stage is the offer that we made. So instead of initial 3,500, which is initial deposit of 50%, you can start as low as 1,500. So this is a special offer to today's webinar. And then after we get the endorsement, then after successfully getting the endorsement, the balance will be due. So the not balance, I would say 3,500 will be due. And then then we will submit your visa application. We need about a couple of weeks, like about 2 weeks to submit. Then after getting the visa, then you pay the balance of 2,000. So we kind of spread it on 3 stages, on 3 payment stages. So that's another benefit of this deal. And if you want to take this opportunity, yes, that's a great time. So you just receive a link, I believe. This is the link to your. So if you want to speak to us, we'll be more than happy to assist you and answer to all your questions. And of course, find the right business program for you. So I'll take one more question. I thought we just running out of time. Does the fee cover the whole process? I think I missed out just a second. Should you have a technical angle to apply for a startup or innovator visa, or some conventional business can be a possibility? If not in this category, is there some other possibility? Sumesh is asking, should you have a technical angle to apply for a startup or innovator?
We said earlier in our discussion that it's advisable to show some technical aspect to the application, and we're well capable of doing that.
Yes, absolutely. And Suyok asking a question: Can I get help in making business plan because I live in India?
Yes, we said that the business plan is part of the fee, and we provide the business plan. We have in-house writers, and yes, of course, we do the business plan.
Yes, it's part of this initial stage. Once you get this offer, then what will happen is within that, it's business planning preparation. That's we will in-house business plan writers expand it. If it's 1 page, we can make it 50 or more. If you have a 50-page business plan, that's great, but it doesn't mean that it will be accepted by the endorsing body, because we need to look into, make sure that it's innovative. We will still expand it to make sure it meets the requirements. So that's my point, my comment. But yes, we can assist with business planning. So Harvey, final, comments before we adjourn this webinar. I think that's been more than allocated time.
Yes, I think we've been more than generous with the audience. We've answered as many of the questions as we possibly could.
Yes.
We couldn't do every question, but we showed everybody the way forward if they're interested.
Absolutely. If your plan is to come to the UK with one of these programs, we're here to assist you, and look forward to seeing you in the UK. So let us know. Look forward to speaking with you. And thanks very much once again to all the audience for your questions, for your comments, being active. So really, really appreciate, really enjoyed. So thank you very much.